Hello to all CINEMASTER lovers. Hope you enjoy watching. Let's get started. The story takes place in the capital of South Korea. Two idle men sneakily pry open a shipping container filled with a large amount of jewelry and gems. As they get excited about their discovery, a cat suddenly emerges from the container. Before Wang Nai can react, the cat pounces on him, leaving a scratch on his neck with its sharp claws. Initially, Wang Nai ignores the wound and continues to search through the box for gold watches. However, as the virus slowly spreads within Wang Nai's body, he starts losing his sanity. His companion tries to call Wang Nai to get in the car, but this only triggers his bloodthirsty nature. The next morning, Wang Nai wakes up by the Han River, now in a state of half-human, half-zombie. With what was left of his instincts, Wang Nai took one step at a time towards the center of Gangnam. Soon a man eating raw pork appeared on the busy streets, and this man was none other than the half-human, half-zombie Wang Nai. A crowd of onlookers takes out their phones to record the scene, unaware of the impending danger. As more and more people gather, Wang Nai, frightened, breaks through the crowd and runs off. On the way, he meets a water delivery worker. Wang Nai follows the worker's truck to a building. After seizing the opportunity when the water delivery worker wasn't paying attention, Wang Nai suddenly bit into his neck from behind. Having tasted human blood, Wang Nai was now fully transformed into a zombie. A horrifying massacre was about to begin, and the zombie virus quickly spread throughout the building. Those bitten by Wang Nai have turned into zombies. Madame Aeon, who is collecting rent in the building, sees this scene and orders his security guards to stop it. But in the face of so many bloodthirsty and brutal zombies, the security guards were pressed to the ground by the zombies as soon as they entered, seeing that the situation has gone out of control. Madame Aeon directly called the security guards downstairs to close all the doors with his walkie-talkie. Madame Aeon wants to seal off what's happening in the building. As soon as the security guard locked the doors downstairs, a horde of zombies appeared behind him, and before he could call out for help, the zombies had already pounced on him on the ground. On the other side, Madame Aeon and the others are being chased by the zombies. As they pass by a short video office, they decide to hide inside. Hoon-ji was the owner of this office. As soon as they came in, Madame Aeon saw Wang Nai on the screen. Madame Aeon was terrified and told everyone that this person was the one going on a rampage biting people in the mall. While everyone was still trying to make sense of the situation, An-ji, on the other hand, was unusually excited. This was the perfect opportunity for him to capture unique footage. An-ji thinks that if he can film all the biting monsters in the mall, it will be a sensation. An-ji led everyone as they rushed out. Unaware that the security guard who came in with Madame Aeon had already been bitten by a zombie, the group carefully made their way through the stairwell to the floor infested with zombies. Outside, there are biting zombies everywhere. Seeing this, the group was utterly shocked. Hoon-ji took out his phone, ready to film, but suddenly a zombie appeared right in front of him. The screams attracted more zombies, and they started closing in on them. Luckily, Hyun-suk kicked the zombie in front of him and closed the door just in time for the crowd to escape. They hurriedly ran upstairs. Min-jong wanted to use her phone to call for help, but An-ji was only concerned about capturing footage for his video. As they argued, the zombie Wang Nai appeared before them. Hyun-suk rushed forward without thinking. Although Hyun-suk had some martial arts training, his regular attacks were ineffective against the now zombie Wang Nai. Soon, Hyun-suk was thrown aside by Wang Nai. Then, Wang Nai lunged at An-ji and the others to save his own life. An-ji pushed one of his employees towards the zombie Wang Nai, sacrificing him to buy time for the rest to escape. They quickly ran back to the office. Sly An-ji continued to film through the glass window. Min-jong tried to call for help with her phone, but Madame Aeon knocked it to the ground. Madame Aeon didn't want the incident to be known to preserve the building's reputation, while Madame Aeon complained. Hyun-suk and the others suddenly looked horrified. Hyun-suk rushes up and fights with the zombie. But the zombie was like a dance master with all sorts of difficult moves, while Hyun-suk was fighting with the zombie. The zombie Wang Nai came again. Fearful, Hoon-ji used Min-jong as a shield. The building was now filled with zombies, searching every corner for prey. Hyun-suk led Min-jong into a warehouse to hide. Realizing they couldn't stay hidden forever, they needed a way to escape. Hyun-suk looked around and found a radio on a shelf, and he came up with a way to get out. Hyun-suk first hung the radio in midair with a rope, and then played a song. All the zombies were attracted to it, and even the dead zombies got up from the ground. While most of the zombies are captivated by the music, Hyun-suk pulls Min-jong and runs towards the office, but they don't get very far before they encounter a zombie. Hyun-suk quickly got into a fight with the zombies. Min-jong was about to help with a baseball bat when An-ji, who had turned into a zombie, appeared behind her. An-ji keeps touching Min-jong's arm. At that moment, Min-jong suddenly remembers the fighting technique that Hyun-suk taught her. After finishing off On-ji, Min-jong helped Hyun-suk to kill the zombie that was holding him down. They then made their way to the office, but just as they were about to call for help, they realized there was no signal on their phones, and even the landline didn't work. Knowing that waiting for rescue was no longer an option, Hyun-suk decided they had to find a way to escape on their own. Now that the mall is full of bloodthirsty and brutal zombies, they can only fight while looking for an exit. They finally managed to get rid of the zombies behind them with their coordination and flexible positioning. Hyun-suk initially planned to go to the basement through the stairwell to find an exit, but they heard zombies approaching, so they returned to the ground floor's main hall. As they came out, the zombies outside noticed them. To protect Min-jong, Hyun-suk locked her inside a car while he attempted to distract the zombies with a baseball bat. However, as more zombies gathered, the car was surrounded. In a moment of panic, Min-jong accidentally turned on the car's music, attracting all the zombies in the mall towards them. Hyun-suk, who was fighting outside, was also crushed by the zombies. Just as Hyun-suk is about to be eaten by the zombies, Min-jong comes out of the car with a fire extinguisher. When the zombies smelled the fire extinguisher, they ran away like mice from cats. Hyun-suk was saved from the zombies by Min-jong. Hyun-suk and Min-jong then made their way to the underground parking lot. To their surprise, they encountered Zombie One-Eye again. Although the Zombie One-Eye has a strong body, it is never as flexible as a living person. Hyun-suk and Min-jong successfully coordinated their efforts to push Wang-Eye to the ground. Hyun-suk stepped forward, lifting his baseball bat and delivering a fierce blow to the zombie Wang-Eye, finally killing him. However, before they could catch their breath, the now zombie Madame On suddenly crawled out from a corner. In an attempt to save Min-jong, Hyun-suk was accidentally bitten by the zombie Madame On. In anger, Min-jong quickly dispatched the zombie Madame On with the baseball bat. Hyun-suk, who was bitten, knew that he didn't have much time left and immediately said what he had buried in his heart. After saying their final goodbyes, Hyun-suk urged Min-jong to leave quickly from there, but just as Hyun-suk and Min-jong took a couple of steps, they froze in place as a set of false teeth fell out from Hyun-suk's pant leg. It turns out that Hyun-suk was not bitten by Madame On, and even the socks on Hyun-suk's feet did not have holes in them. The situation became quite awkward. In the end, Hyun-suk managed to lead Min-jong to escape from the building. However, little did they know that not long after they left, Won-Eye, lying on the ground, suddenly sat up. The movie ends. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get more new videos. See you next time. Player and kill him together, thus both succeeding in the game. Junho hears Myung's name and feels relieved because he will come to save her as he promised. Myung decides to look for her until he finds her. Nam-gyu agrees to help him on one condition, that they kill anyone they find on their way, because if a red team member doesn't kill anyone, he loses the game, and thus each of their shares of the prize increases. Myung gets excited and agrees to the plan. They start looking for someone to kill. We see Daehun running away from the red team, injured in his leg. When one of the players catches up to him, Daehun pushes him. The player falls from the stairs and dies. Daehun takes his knife. Junho is about to give birth, and the skull helps her. It turns out there are only 15 minutes left until the game ends. We go to Yongja, who is looking for someone to kill to win and stay in the game. He enters a room and sees player number 172. 172 tries to beg him to spare his life. Suddenly, he attacks, trying to kill him. Player 203 enters the room and kills 172. Yongja gets nervous and quickly stands up. Meanwhile, number 44 is still tricking her team, leading them to one of the rooms. She opens the door but is shocked and quickly closes it and runs away. Yongja and Nam-gyu come out from in front of her and kill her team as well. Number 44 runs to escape, bumps into Daehun, and they each go their separate ways. After that, 44 meets Seong and tells him that Daehun injured his leg and left a trail of blood. Seong leaves her because he only wants to kill Daehun and starts following the blood trail. Number 44 enters a room and discovers the exit door is there, but she needs 3 keys to open it. She goes back to look for the keys. Number 100 hears a sound behind him, so he covers himself in blood from a nearby corpse, pretends to be dead, and then gets up. Number 44 takes the key from him. He asks her why and learns that she found the exit door, so he goes with her. We see Hyun with Junho, helping her give birth. Suddenly, a red team player enters the room. Hyun attacks him, and they fight until they reach the exit door. There, Hino grabs him and stabs him, killing him. She sees the exit door keys and can open it with the 3 keys she has. Before she goes through the door, she goes back to get Junho and Gomja with her. Suddenly, Yongja attacks her and stabs her, and is shocked to see Junho in front of him. Nam-gyu calls out to him, asking if there is anyone in the room with him. He lies and says there is no one. then closes the door on them. Seong continues on his way until he reaches the end of the palace. He finds that the palace ends there, so he goes back and closes the door. He finds Dae-hun behind the door. We go to number 44, meaning the exit door is with her and number 100. Number 100 tries to open the door with the 2 keys he has, but fails because he is missing the circle key. Number 44 puts in her key, and the door opens. Suddenly, Numeria pushes her and goes through the door alone, taking the key with him. Number 44 is trapped in the room and someone enters. When he gets close to her, he sees the shadow of Nam-gyu and attacks her, stabbing her and killing her. We return to Seong, who tries to finish off Dae-hun. Dae-hun apologizes for betraying him before and explains that he was scared and didn't know what to do. Suddenly, he pulls out a knife and attacks Seong. They fight again, and Dae-hun manages to escape. Seong chases him until he catches him, strangles him to kill him and take his revenge. Gomja decides to take Junho and escape as well. They go to another room with an exit door. They try to open the door, but suddenly, Yongja enters the room, with less than a minute left before the end of the game. Yongja tries to attack Junho to win the game before time runs out, but her mother stops him. She asks him to kill her, but he refuses, moves out of the way, and apologizes to Junho, saying her daughter will be left without a mother. But Younga decides to sacrifice her son to save Junho and her daughter, so she stabs him in the back. Young is shocked that his own mother stabbed him. His time in the game ends, and the corridor guards appear. They see Seong, and he tries to commit suicide, so they shoot a bullet at the knife. Afterwards, they take Seong with them. They take Young and shoot him in front of his mother because he lost the game. The guards start collecting the bodies of the players who lost. Suddenly, one of the players attacks a guard and kills him. Then he removes the mask, and it turns out that he and 3 others look different and speak English, unlike all the other guards who are Korean and speak Korean. After a while, Jamja enters the players' hall with Jinna's son, and everyone is shocked to see the child with her, except for Seong, who is not paying attention to anything happening around him. It is revealed that Myung likes Junho and wants to be with her, which is why he always defends her whenever he can. The guards enter the hall and inform the players that 35 players have been eliminated from the game, so only 25 players remain to compete for more than 41 billion. Now it's time to vote to see whether they will continue playing or not. We go to the supervisor, who is sitting with 5 businessmen. These are the people funding the game and are obsessed with the idea of control or endless pleasure to the extent that they are happy to participate in the game themselves, wearing the guards' uniforms. Each of them thanks the supervisor for letting them have this experience. One of them says he's happy because he's honoring his father's memory, whose name is Owa. The supervisor replies that he's doing his best to provide the best service for his clients. At that moment, one of the guards discovers that communication with the operations room has been cut off, so he asks another guard to go quickly and check it himself. We go to Detective Huang, who is still on the ship and hasn't reached the island yet. He calls Choi and warns him about Captain Park, telling him to ask about Park everywhere, and finds out that no one knows him. This increases his suspicion that Park is part of the game, so he asks Huang to keep an eye on him just in case. Back to the players' room, the voting on the new game begins. Despite the terrifying things they've seen in this place, the majority vote to continue the game. Seong still objects to voting because he doesn't want to participate in this crime and only return to expose the game's organizers. The guards arrive at the operations room and see the bodies of their colleagues on the ground, realizing there is a traitor among them. Guard number 11 gives the key to room 16 to player 246 and asks him to go rest there and be careful because there are cameras in the room. The head guard, who wears a different black suit than the other guards, reviews the surveillance cameras and sees guard 16 in his room and notices that guard 11 is missing. He radios and asks guards 16 and 11 to come to his room. Guard 11 is surprised to find herself in the room with him, waiting for him to show up so she can kill him. He is shocked to learn that she was the one who took out the guards in the operations room. Guard 11 tells him he has only one chance to get rid of her, which is to give her the key to a boat so she and 16 can escape the next day. He wonders how she knows 16 and why she wants to escape with him in particular, but he is forced to agree to keep the players in the facility motivated. Huang is still at sea searching for the island. He flies a drone to film a nearby island from a distance, and as soon as he sees the island on the camera, he remembers being shot on the island before, so he decides to go there to confirm his suspicion. When he arrives, he remembers his brother, who turns out to be player number 1 and the current supervisor of the game. We learn that he shot Huang to keep him away from the game because he would definitely try to stop it. Huang radios his assistants to tell them this is the same island where he was shot, which means the game island is nearby. At night, Jamja sees Young sad and goes to talk to him and comfort him, telling him not to feel guilty because he reminds her of her son Young. She tells him that Young was so kind that he blamed himself for everything, even when it wasn't his fault, and tried to commit suicide several times, but she managed to save him at the last moment. In the end, she killed him herself. She asks him to help her save her daughter, and they all sleep to rest. At that moment, Choi arrives at Park's house and suspects he's part of the game. He enters through the garden gate and sees Park's dog, who keeps barking at him. Choi leaves the dog and goes inside the house, searching for anything to prove Park is part of the game. He finds a photo of Park with the Squid Game recruiter, who convinces people to join the game. Before Choi leaves the house, the dog attacks him again and bites his hand, so Choi shoots and kills it. As he leaves the house, he notices something strange under the dog's house. He moves the house, removes the cover underneath, and finds a lot of money and a bag with a guard's uniform from Squid Game. The police arrive and order him to surrender, accusing him of robbing Park's house. The next day, the players wake up and are shocked to see Jamia has killed herself. The guards come to take her body in a coffin. The head guard, who is guard number 4, discovers that guard 11 is deceiving him and trying to escape with player 246. He orders his assistant to find the player before he escapes with 11 from the facility. Moments are left before the start of the second game in Squid Game. The game organizers are monitoring everything through the cameras, and one of them, wearing the eagle mask, decides to bet on Jinnah. He appears drunk and bets on